And it's now time for the business day. Cruise ships back before the end of March. That's what Tourism Minister Ed Bartlett says is now on the cards as he seeks to help towns which depend on cruise, such as Falmouth, back on their feet. Dashan Hendricks tells us more about plans to revive the industry, which entertained 1.5 million visitors last year.
We're expecting that cruise will come back. Very slow, but...
Tourism Minister Ed Bartlett opening up on the beleaguered cruise shipping industry, which has been stuck in the port and remained stagnant, even as the rest of the tourism sector has opened up.
2 stops in the Falmouth area in March.
A move which he said will enable the return of economic activity, especially in Falmouth, which depends on cruise shipping.
Too quick. Well, I wouldn't say them. The truth is that we have been suffering. The economy of Ocho-Rios, Falmouth in particular, and definitely some of Montego Bay. With this, last night you carried a big story with our poor cousins, the graph vendors in Montego Bay, struggling, suffering because no visitors. And their mainstay is cruise.
But cruise ships were part of the problem regarding COVID-19 in the early stages of the pandemic. Ships were like petri dishes for the virus. The impact has been devastating. An industry projected to earn $150 billion and to transport 32 million passengers in 2020 quickly ran aground. Cruise ships being moored offshore, unable to dock, became an early symbol of the coronavirus's global spread. And as 2020 draws to a close, ships are yet to start sailing in the numbers they once did. And when they do, things will be different.
They have reconfigured in a lot of cases. The protocols are now very rigorous with the cruise ships. As a matter of fact, the CDC gave them a 74-point protocol program to respond to in order for them to get their approval to sail. So a lot of heavy work has been done in this area, and what is left is for us in the destinations now to reconfigure our whole arrangements to ensure that we can carry through the protocols on our side, that the balance would be there. It brings a challenge now to what you call the independents who operate. That is those who are not in tour operating groups and so on. But they would park at the cruise pier and pick up passengers who wouldn't have planned itineraries. You see, those now at risk because it's going to cause this or cause that. Because if you don't bring anybody, you're going to die anyway from starvation. So you take your pick. Is it starvation or COVID? Or can you be able to live with both if you plan properly and execute efficiently?
Dashan Hendricks, TVJ News.
Currency trading ended today with the US dollar selling for $142.61. The Canadian dollar is going for $109.29. The pound sterling is going for $190.75, while the euro costs $176.68. The JC index ended lower for the first time in 4 days today, closing down 550 points, while the junior market index was unchanged. The best performing stocks of the day were 138 Student Living, Salada Foods, Trans-Jamaican Highway 8% preference shares, iCreate, and Epley. On the losing end were Signos Credit Investments US dollar shares, Jetcon, Kingston Wharves, Wigton Wind Farm, and MPC Caribbean Clean Energy. And that's the Business Day. International stories when we return. Please stay with us.